So, in a historic leap for Nigeria's media landscape, the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, and the Nigerian Communications Satellite Limited, NIGCOMSAT, have jointly unveiled the big picture, a sweeping reinvention of the nation's digital switchover project. To shed more light on it, we have with us the head corporate affairs broadcaster. No, we don't. We have the DG himself. We have the DG of the National Broadcasting Commission, Mr. Charles Iwebu. Welcome to the show, sir. Good to have you on the show. Tell us again, what exactly is this big picture vision that you have?
Okay, in a nutshell, it's basically a shift from the terrestrial broadcast of the DSO, Digital Switchover, to a satellite-focused initiative to be able to cover the country all at once, with several innovations on the back of it. That's what the big picture is about.
So instead of individual switching,
instead of you having terrestrial towers all over, which takes time, takes a lot of resources, funding and all of that, with timelines, you have the digital switchover with satellite, which covers the country from day one.
DSO is not a new word.
Yes,
we've been hearing there's going to be a digital switchover. There was a time Mariah came back with so much excitement. Well, 10 years ago, she was like, there's going to be a digital switchover. All of our programs are going to... she was like, all our programs, now we will see the true value, the numbers. So it feels like, okay, another move is coming, but we seem to be hearing the same thing. Now, the big picture sounds interesting, but for those that have been eagerly awaiting the ability to freely use the digital platform to push their content, what is the timeline they're looking at to start seeing this opportunity materialize? Because many of them have been waiting for a very long time.
Okay. So, let me start from this point. There were a lot of systemic challenges, We've said some of it previously, funding, for right now, conservatively, you need about 3 stars to be able to cover transmission in a state, conservatively.
Just one state? One
state. And it costs about $1 million to set it up. Not talk about operations and all of that, right? None of those, for you to be able to put in that investment, you'll be able to see your return on investment. Now we have about 8 states. They're not getting that, which is why the signal distributors concentrate on the cities where you have the mass. That's where, because you have that running cost, diesel and all of that. You broadcasters face it. So you see, those challenges have come up. Number 2, funding. Number 3, the white paper. When it was drawn up, it was more focused on the technology. Yes, there was mention of content, but it didn't quite talk about how the content will be built, how you have a marketplace, advertising on the back of it, which is what free-to-air broadcasters survive on and all of that. So now we're going back, we're re-strategizing. It's not going to be the way it was before. In talking about the big picture, if I can just give an example, with us partnering with NIGCOMSAT, which is Nigeria for Nigeria, what we're doing is that we're putting up all the channels on satellite. So from day one, rather than where, we'll launch a state.
Let me be sure that, because what Nigerians understood, or what we sold to Nigerians before, is that there'll be 3 major carriers. That instead of turning on your analog, your normal antenna system channel, that you throw it away. Now everybody will now have to buy a decoder. Right? That is now regionalized. So maybe one is for southwest, one is for northeast, whatever it is, or 3, or anyway. I'm just saying 3 major decoders you buy. Now, with your cable, with your DSTV, with your GoTV, everything will be on that same box. You now subscribe. That's you switching over. Now, you're saying that is no longer necessary because we're now switching us over from the satellite. Is that what you're saying?
Okay.
How does that play out?
Let me explain the technology aspect of it. So, you're right. With digital terrestrial broadcast, right? What you have is that you need a decoder, the structure the way it is, to be able to have access to those channels in a nutshell. What we're introducing now is that we're going by way of satellite. First, we're covering the entire country, like I said. Now, we're going to open up the signal. So even if you do not have those decoders, you're going to have access. You're going to have. So we're pitching that in the next 3 to 4 months, you're going to have 100 plus channels.
Gotcha.
All our channels that talks about our culture, education, general entertainment, we'll bring in sports, everything will be carried there all at once.
Okay. So let me also make it clear.
And then, sorry, just before you ask. So when we open it up, you don't just need those decoders which we have sold. Okay. If you have existing decoders which are not locked to signals, you will receive it. Oh. We're also coming out with the DSO app. So even on your laptops, on your phone, you would still have access. So it's going to be both IP-based and DTH-based.
So whether you buy a decoder or not, you have access. You have access. So I can plug my television straight, and then I have access.
Now, when you for your television, you know, if you have a TV that has a satellite tuner in it, some of those TVs have it. Then it goes. Now, if you also have an IP-based TV, you would also have access to those signals.
So let me ask you this question. How does this benefit content creators?
Okay. So, you know, first, in opening up this, we need to build the ecosystem for the creatives to be able to showcase. One, to be able to have visibility, to be able to distribute, and then to monetize. So part of the initiatives, which is what you asked me, that we're bringing into place, we're going to put in the audience measurement. First, before going into audience measurement, we're going to give you wide viewership. Now it's not restricted to, we're distributed about 1 million plus decoders, but now everyone is going to have access, right? We have about people who have about 10 million plus decoders, which are in the country. I don't want to mention names of those brands, but you could just, all you need to do is align your dish, put on your decoders, and you're viewing it. Then you're going to have it on IP. You're going to have access on your phone, your laptops, your smart TVs. So it's going to give visibility to the creatives, right? Then we're going to introduce audience measurements, you know. Then we're also going to use, the president has been gracious to give us funding. We're going to pay for a call center to have people, you know, we're going to have publicity, marketing. There's going to be massive on all media platforms, you know, traditional media platforms, digital platforms. People are going to understand what DSO means in a nutshell, unlike what it was before.
I'm so excited about the audience measurement because, you know, because currently, for those who don't understand, currently we use that diary system where people actually have the questionnaires to ask what do you watch,
which is largely unverified.
Which is very, but that's what the industry has been using for years and decades. And we've been told several times that we're going to have we work with the DSO, we'll be able to measure audience properly. But now with this, the reality is that we're going to have the real accurate data.
Scientific measurement.
So currently we are doing about 3 million. Your view is doing about 3 million, we can say. But with this now, we can actually now accurately see, okay, your view might be doing 25 million audience. We don't know viewers. Because we're not getting more accurate numbers, and then you can then go marketing.
That's what it's
now, my question is, a lot of people are also, they're always worried about the metrics in using to determine these numbers because, you know, in the past, we've depended a lot on the cable that comes from a different country. How accurate or how dependable would these metrics be for marketers and buyers to say, okay, this is the way we're going to use?
Okay, so before now, a company called First Media has been appointed for this purpose to provide this service. Now they're utilizing the software that has been used and proven, presently in use in Bulgaria, and is used, you know, to provide all the data-driven information you need to, you know, for the channels, for content, viewer audience, behavior, and all of that. It's been tried and tested. That same technology, they have deployed here. They've done a proof of concept, which they had over 60 homes, you know, and though they installed panels with, you know, data coming in, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, they made a presentation before him, and all of this has been tried. So we're not just bringing in something, it's verifiable, you know, and it's going to be independent of all our stakeholders so that you can have verifiable sources to have these measurements, which will drive the creatives and will drive revenue, you know, advertising revenue.
I want to understand a bit more about the economics, you know, because before we knew if you get the box, you will subscribe, that's how you make money. But now it's free-ish, like from what you explained. If it's on satellite, it means I can just tune into it, do I still need to pay? Who am I paying to? Am I paying to DSO? Am I paying? Because before we had those boxes, and it meant that if you bought this box, you paid the company that owns the box. But now we don't need to buy a box. Where is the economics? Who am I paying to?
So when you talk about paying to, are you talking about you as a broadcaster?
No, I'm talking about me as a consumer, of the average Nigerian consumer.
You're not paying anyone. You're not. So previously, hold on. Now there was the digital access fee, right? That was used to service. So there are services that run, like a subscriber system. There's encryption system. There are some technical services. Part of that was used to pay for all those services, right? The software that makes you see free TV, you have access and all of that. Now, that wasn't a fee, so to speak. It was meant to just service those. It was just because, the DSO was put together and somehow those services had to be paid for. Now, with the NBC is yet to determine how that will go, but it's a minimal fee, 1,500 per annum is
to have access to every
exactly. Wow. So you're not paying a fee, so to speak, but we're giving you the platform for visibility. A whole lot will come with audience measurement. You'll be able to see content, drive content, advertising. I mean, what you do now, a lot of broadcasters rather, they dispense airtime. That is not a sustainable funding, for the platforms. It should be driven by advertising,
Yeah, so let's talk about because you mentioned earlier about 100 channels will just be in the, and I would like to know what sort of content would dominate that 100 channels. What sort of content are we looking to have?
So when you say dominate, now we're going to put everyone except what our code presently prohibits, like religious channels right now. Okay. We're putting everyone on board there. It cuts across our culture. Some of them are language-based, some of them are regional, general entertainment, sports channels. We're putting everything on board. Now, that's the first phase. At the second phase, we're going to basically put it like a platform is run. You have EPGs with numbering, so you could have a batching of general entertainment, and then the audience measurement will determine those who take preeminence or become compelling content of sorts.
Okay.
So all of those, yes. But at the initial stage, we're going to put everything for Nigerians to see, and then those metrics will play out, and then we will,
Let me go on a very short break. When we come back, we continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.